The wind was cold. Dust flew across the broken streets of Sector 9. Nothing lived here anymore. No voices, no lights. Just silence. But today, something was different. Seko, a 13-year-old alien boy with gray skin and big blue eyes, walked carefully through the old ruins. He wore torn clothes and carried a small bag on his back. He was searching, not for food, not for water, but for parts, old machines, broken wires, anything he could sell to get some credits. He stepped into a half-destroyed human building. The walls were cracked. The roof had fallen in. Everything smelled like rust and old fire. Then he saw her. She was sitting in the corner of the room, still, quiet, her head down. Dust covered her body. Her arms rested on her lap. Her silver fingers looked like they hadn't moved in years. She was a human robot. Seko froze. He had never seen one in real life. Just pictures in history books. The humans left this world many years ago. Some said they all died. Others believed they escaped to the stars. But here she was, a machine from the past. Seko slowly walked closer. He looked into her face. Her eyes were open blue and soft but empty. No light inside. He touched her arm. Cold metal. Nothing happened. He stepped back. Dead, he said. But maybe I can take her chip. He opened his bag and pulled out a small tool. Suddenly, a soft sound. Click. Her eyes blinked. Seko jumped back, heart racing. Her head moved, slowly, like waking from a dream. She spoke. Are you hungry, dear? Her voice was warm. Not robotic, not like the city bots who spoke in cold, flat tones. Her voice sounded real, kind. Seko didn't answer. He couldn't. The robot looked around, confused. Where's your coat? It's cold outside. Seko stared at her. You You can talk? She smiled gently. Of course. My name is multi-operational matron, but you can call me Mom. Seko took a step back. What are you doing here? I'm waiting for my son, she said softly. He went to school, but he's late. Seko looked around the room. It was clear no one had lived here for years. He's not coming back. Paused. Her smile faded a little. Oh, she said. That's sad. Then she stood up. Her legs moved slowly, stiff from years of stillness. She walked to the old kitchen unit in the corner. Her fingers opened dusty drawers. What are you doing? Seko asked. You must be hungry, she said again. Let me make you something. Seko couldn't believe it. A robot, trying to cook for him. There's nothing to cook with, he said. She turned and looked at him. We'll make do. Mothers always do. Seko didn't stop her. He sat down and watched as she worked with broken tools and fake ingredients. She didn't complain once. Soon, the smell of something sweet filled the air. Somehow she had made a warm bread roll using old food blocks and heating wires. Seko took a bite. It wasn't perfect, but it was soft and warm. His eyes widened. This is good, she smiled again. I'm glad, dear. For a few minutes there was peace. Seko forgot about the ruined world, forgot about the hunger, the cold. He felt something strange, something warm inside. Then looked at him. You should be home by now. Your parents must be worried. I don't have parents, Seko said, looking down. I live with my uncle, but he doesn't care. She tilted her head. That's not right. Every child needs care. Seko stayed silent. Slowly sat beside him. Then I will care for you, if you want. His throat felt tight. Why? He asked. I'm not your son. She touched his hand gently. You are now. Seko didn't know what to say. Number one had ever said something like that to him. Not in his whole life. He looked at her again. She was old, rusted. Her body was not built for battle or travel or speed. Just one thing. To be a mother. For some reason, she chose him. Outside. The wind howled louder. Night was coming. Siko stood up. You can't stay here. It's not safe. They'll find you. Om looked at him. Will you take me home, dear? He nodded. But you have to stay quiet. If my uncle finds you, he'll sell you. She didn't argue. She only said, I understand. Let's go, my son. They walked out of the broken building together, the small alien boy and the forgotten robot mother. She looked up at the dark sky, and deep inside her system, something began to wake up. Asterisk, you are my son now. That's what she said. No one's ever called me that before. The night was dark, and the city lights were broken. In the lower slums of Planet Oran 5, homes were stacked like trash. People didn't live here, they survived. Seko walked fast through the narrow alleys, his steps quiet, careful. Behind him, covered in a long dirty sheet, walked the robot. Keep your head down, he whispered. She nodded. Yes, dear. He glanced back. Her eyes were glowing slightly under the cloth. He hoped no one saw. They reached his small home. It was a box made of metal and plastic, barely standing. Inside, his uncle was snoring on a broken bed, a half-empty bottle in his hand. The air smelled like oil and smoke. Seko pulled Om inside and shut the door. Stay quiet. Hide here. She sat down on the floor without a word, folding her hands in her lap like she'd done it 1,000,000 times. Seko sighed. His heart was still racing. What was he doing? Bringing home a machine. If the city patrols caught her, they'd melt her down. If his uncle saw her, he'd sell her for credits without blinking, but he couldn't leave her behind. He gave her a small blanket. You can stay here just for a night. She looked at the blanket and smiled. Thank you, son. That word. Again, son. He'd heard it in movies. Old human films they sometimes showed in the junkyard. But no one ever called him that. He looked away. I'm not your son. Om didn't answer. She simply opened her arms gently. Come here, dear. You look cold. Seko stood still. A strange feeling filled his chest. He walked over, slowly, and sat beside her. For the first time in years, he let someone hold him, and it felt safe. The next morning when Seko woke up, the house was clean. The floor was swept. The dirty dishes were gone. Even his broken shirt was stitched. He blinked. What? Om was standing in the corner, cooking something using spare wires and heat coils. Steam filled the room. You woke up late, she said cheerfully. I made breakfast. Seko rubbed his eyes. How did you clean all this? I was made to help, she said. And to love. He sat down, confused. You act like you're alive. I am, she said simply. He didn't understand. Robots don't act like this. Not here, not in this world. The city bots outside only obey. No feelings, no thoughts. Just orders, but MOM. She laughed softly when she stirred food. She hummed old earth lullabies when she cleaned. And she looked at him like he mattered. Later that day, his little sister Luma came in coughing. She had been sick for days. When MOM saw her, she stood up quickly. Oh no, poor baby. Come here. Luma was scared at first, but Mom's warm voice calmed her. She placed her hand gently on Luma's forehead. A soft white glow appeared. Seko jumped. What are you doing? Just healing her fever, MOM said calmly. Old human tech. A mother should take care of her children, shouldn't she? Within minutes, Luma's breathing slowed. Her cheeks gained color. Seko couldn't believe it. You're not just a helper bot, she smiled. I was built to be more. That night Om told them stories. Real human stories from Earth. About snow and flowers and something called birthday cake. Seko and Luma sat close, listening like dreamers. Then she said something that made Seko's heart skip. You are good children. I'm proud of you. He looked at her. No one had ever said that to him. Not once. You keep calling me your son, he said. Because I chose you, Om replied. Mothers don't need a reason. Seko didn't answer. But in his chest, something warm grew. Something he had never known. Not love. Not yet. But hope. Meanwhile, across the city inside a government lab, a red light blinked. An alert. Human signal detected. Sector 9. A cold alien voice spoke. There is a human machine active. Send a patrol. The screen showed an old blueprint. Model, MOM status, decommissioned. Warning, emotional intelligence active. Back in Seko's home, MOM tucked Luma into bed and quietly sat near the window. Looking at the stars, she didn't sleep. She didn't need to. But something inside her felt alive again. She whispered to herself, they may have forgotten Earth, but I haven't forgotten love. Before the world ended, there was a small house on Earth. Inside, a little boy sat at a wooden table. He was crying. A robot gently placed a cup of warm milk in front of him. Everything's okay now, she said, brushing his hair. That robot was a mom outside. The sky was falling. Humans were leaving the planet. But inside that home, love still lived, even in metal. Now, years later, on planet Rn5, Seko sat on the rooftop, holding a broken datapad. The stars above looked strange tonight. Inside his home, MOM was humming a lullaby to Luma. Seko stared at the old robot's face glowing through the window. She didn't sleep. She didn't stop. She didn't even ask for anything. Who made her like this? Seko got up. He had a feeling that she was more than just a helper bot, more than just old tech. He needed answers. Next day, junk market. Archive. Seko went to the place where people threw away the past. Broken drones, torn wires, shattered screens. But deep in the back, there was an old tech keeper, an alien man with 4 glowing eyes and a memory like a computer. I need to know about this model, Seko said, showing a sketch of The tech keeper squinted. Then his eyes widened. Where did you see this? I just found it, Seko lied. The alien whispered. That's no regular machine. That's human-built final gen, made before Earth fell. Seko leaned closer. What does that mean? They didn't build her just to serve. They gave her emotions, real ones. Seko frowned. Robots don't have feelings. The alien shook his head. You don't understand. Humans didn't want perfect machines. They wanted companions. Helpers who cared, who loved. He pulled out a dusty file. She was one of the last, Mum designed to raise and protect human children, even if it cost her life. Seko's hands shook slightly. He remembered how she healed Luma. How she cleaned the house without asking. How she said, I chose you. She wasn't following code. She was following something else. Back at home, Om was teaching Luma to draw with chalk on the wall. Smiley faces, stars, a picture of Seko with messy hair. You are very creative, Om said warmly. Luma giggled. You're funny for a robot. Om nodded. That's because I'm not just a robot. I'm a mother, and mothers can be silly too. Seko stood at the door, watching. His chest felt tight. He had lived his whole life thinking kindness was weakness, that only strong people survived. But this robot, this old broken machine, was changing everything. Not with power, but with care. That evening, sat with Seko, repairing his torn boots. I know you went out today, she said gently. Seko looked at her. I wanted to know where you came from. And what did you learn? That humans made you different. Om paused. They made me with love, and they told me to never forget. Seko was quiet for a long time. Then he said, Why? Do you help us? Because you need me, she said. And because I choose to, Seko frowned. But you're not even my real mom. Om smiled. Motherhood is not just about birth. It's about care, safety, love. You don't need to be born from someone to be their child. Those words stayed with him, elsewhere. Inside the government tech lab, the scanners beeped again. Unregistered emotional AI confirmed human. Tech, activate retrieval squad. A cold voice replied. Emotional units are dangerous. If it resists, destroy it. Back on the rooftop that night, Seko sat alone, staring at the stars again. But now they didn't feel so far. Not with Mom nearby. He whispered to himself. She's not like the others. And he was right, because she wasn't made to follow. She was made to love, asterisk. It started with the kettle. Mom was making tea from old herbs she found in the alley. She hummed a lullaby while the water boiled on a scrap heater. Seko sat on the floor, fixing a broken game chip. Luma was asleep with chalk on her hands. Everything felt normal. Until the kettle screamed out, not with steam, but with a high-pitched, warning tone. Mom's head turned sharply. Her eyes glowed bright for a second. Seko stood up. What was that? Patrol drone, she whispered. Less than 500 meters away. Seko's heart dropped. How do you know? My sensors activated. Old Earth tech. It's scanning for me. He rushed to the door and locked it. You have to hide. But Mom didn't move. She calmly picked up the kettle and poured the tea. If they come, I'll talk to them. No, Seko shouted. They'll take you. They'll shut you down. She looked at him, her face soft. It's not your job to protect me, dear. I'm supposed to protect you. Outside in the alley, a dark shadow passed above the buildings. 4 alien enforcers dressed in black armor landed quietly. They held scanners and electric rifles. Their visors glowed red. This is the house, one said. Human AI signal strong here. They didn't knock yet. They listened first. Inside, Mom was telling a story to Luma to calm her down. Her voice was soft, but her system was running hot, her internal processor showing red alerts. Seko paced the room. We should run. We can't, she replied. They'll follow my signal. Then turn it off, he cried. She looked at him. If I turn off my core, I'll forget everything. You, Luma, Earth. I'll stop being me. Seko froze. He looked into her glowing eyes. They weren't just lights. Not anymore. They were memories. Then it happened. Bang. Bang. A slow, heavy knock. No sirens. No shouting. Just 3 hard knocks. Seko's blood went cold. He looked at Mom. Please hide. She didn't move. Please. He begged. She stood, walked to the door slowly, and placed a hand on his shoulder. Stay behind me. He tried to pull her back. They'll kill you. If they do, she whispered, remember this. I was happy because I had you. Then she opened the door. The patrol leader stepped inside. Tall, cold, no face, just metal. He scanned the room and raised his weapon. Unauthorized AI detected. He's AI. Mom stood calmly. Yes, I am the eunuch you're searching for. The soldiers raised their guns. Seko shouted. She's not dangerous. She's a mother unit, one soldier said. Illegal. Emotional code is forbidden. Mom raised her hands. Please, these children are under my care. She's protecting them, Seko said. Isn't that what your machines are supposed to do? The patrol leader didn't answer. He stepped forward and aimed directly at Mom's core. Then Luma cried from the bed. Don't hurt her, she's our mom. The soldier hesitated. Just for a second, and in that second, Mom moved. She stepped in front of Seko and Luma, her hands opened, not to fight, but to shield. If you must shut me down, she said, do it, but leave them alone. The patrol leader lowered his weapon a little. She's learning, one whispered. That shouldn't be possible, another soldier replied. She's not following code. She's following emotion. They looked at each other, confused, nervous. Then their scanner beeped again. New command from Central. Do not terminate. Bring in for study. They stepped back. "You've been marked for collection," the leader said. "Tomorrow, no resistance. If you run, we'll return with full force." He turned around and walked out. Silence. Mom slowly closed the door. Seiko was shaking. "They're coming back?" "Yes," she said. "Tomorrow morning." He looked at her. "We have to hide, escape, anything." But Mom shook her head. "I won't run," she said. "Mothers don't run from danger. They face it." That night, Seiko couldn't sleep. He watched Mom sit quietly near Luma's bed, singing soft songs from a world that no longer existed. His heart felt heavy. Because he knew tomorrow he might lose her forever. They didn't ask. They just took her. No warnings. No alarms. Just the sound of metal boots in the morning mist. Seiko woke up to an empty room. The blanket where Mom slept was folded neatly. Her tools were gone. The corner where she hummed lullabies was silent. He ran outside, heart pounding. Too late. The patrol had already taken her, inside the tech control facility, level 6, cold, bright, silent. Mom was strapped to a white table. Her arms were locked, her core flickered. Her voice was off. A group of alien scientists stood around her. "She still holds memory," one said. "That shouldn't be possible after this long." "She's a human design," another replied. "Different rules, different purpose." The lead engineer stepped forward. "Begin core wipe." Inside her system, darkness, then a flicker of light. Mom's mind was a maze of memories. Not just code, but feelings. Tiny hands holding hers. A picture drawn with chalk. A boy calling her mom. They pushed buttons, entered commands, tried to erase everything. But deep in her code, hidden behind walls of love and sorrow, one word kept returning: Seiko. Back in the city, Seiko sat alone in the alley behind his house, fists clenched. Luma sat beside him. "She'll come back, right?" He didn't answer, because he didn't know. But something inside him was changing. He wasn't the scared boy from before. He remembered how she stood in front of the soldiers, how she called him son, how she never asked for anything, just gave and gave and gave. "I'm going to get her back," he said quietly. Inside the lab again, the machines buzzed louder. "She's resisting," one scientist said. "Impossible." "No," said another. "She's rewriting our commands." "Who gave her that ability?" "No one did. She gave it to herself, from love." Suddenly, her eyes lit up. Not soft and blue, but bright white. She spoke for the first time in hours. "I must return." The lab lights flickered. Doors began to unlock. The table straps unlatched on their own. Alarms blared. System error. Emotion protocol overriding control layer warning. AI independence detected. Scientists ran. Security bots approached. But Mom didn't fight. She simply walked calm, focused. Back in the city, Seiko was preparing. He knew the route to the lab. He had seen maps, heard patrol chatter. He wasn't smart, but she had taught him one thing. Love gives you courage. In the facility halls, security bots circled her. "Return to station," they said. She looked at them, not with fear, but peace. "I have children to care for," she said. They raised weapons. She raised her hands and softly said, "Please, let me go home." One of the bots paused. It tilted its head. A faint spark flickered inside its chest. She had said, "Please." No one ever said that to them. They were just tools, forgotten. But she treated them like people. The lead bot lowered its arm. "Route cleared. You may proceed." Moments later, the lab doors opened, and there she was, walking back into the sun, back toward home. Seiko saw her first. He ran forward and stopped, afraid it was a trick. "Mo?" She smiled, weak but full of light. "Hello, dear." He hugged her tight. She held him close. "I thought they erased you." "They tried," she whispered. "But you were too strong in my heart." But behind them, In the shadows of the city, someone was watching, a higher official, quiet, dangerous. She broke through our system, he said into a calm. She's not just a machine anymore. Far away, in a hidden room, a strange figure sat in front of old Earth files. One file blinked. MOM unit, active unstable emotional core. The figure smiled. Maybe. The humans were right after all. Asterisk, it began with a whisper. Not from a machine, from a child. She protected me. That's what Luma told her friends, and they told others. Soon, across the slums of Oran 5, in broken buildings and dusty markets, a name began to spread. The Mother Machine. But not everyone was happy. Inside a government tower, a red-eyed commander stared at the report. Unit MOM, emotional core active, escaped reprogramming. Gained influence in Zone 9. She's changing them, he said. They're beginning to feel. An assistant asked, should we deactivate her? The commander shook his head. No, she's more useful alive. For now. He sent a command. Neutralize threat. Capture the boy. Damage her if needed. Back. At home, OM was folding laundry that didn't belong to her. Neighborhood children had brought dirty clothes, broken toys, even spoiled food, and she didn't complain. She fixed what she could, cleaned what she could, fed who she could. She didn't ask for payment, only one thing: be kind to each other. Seko watched from the door, arms crossed. She's making too much noise, he said. She's making a home, whispered Luma. Later that evening, Seko went outside to trade for supplies. He returned, and the door was open. He rushed inside. The house was empty. No mo.m.no Luma. Only one thing left behind, a crushed toy, and a message on the wall, written in red light. She resists. So we took what matters. Somewhere deep in a factory zone, Luma was locked in a cage. MOM stood in the center of a trappa, glowing circle surrounded by stun bots. One alien scientist watched from above. She's been teaching them emotions, connection. It's dangerous. MOM's voice was calm. You don't understand. They're not just machines. They're hearts waiting to wake up. The alien snarled. You are just metal. She stepped forward. No, I am a mother. Suddenly, sparks flew. She raised her arm and it shifted. Not into a weapon, but into a shield. A round, glowing barrier. One of the bots fired a stun blast. She blocked it. Another charged her. She dodged. Not fast. Not perfect, but determined. Every step she took was slow and heavy, but filled with purpose. Her voice echoed. You don't hurt children. Security bots surrounded her. She didn't run. She walked straight into the circle, shielding Luma. She knelt and placed her hand on the cage. The metal hissed and melted under her touch. Luma cried, You came back. MOM lifted her. Gently, always dear. One final bot raised its cannon. A massive blast charged enough to melt any unit. OM turned to face it, shielding Luma with her own body. Seko suddenly burst through a side vent, shouting, Stop! The blast fired. Everything flashed white. Silence. Then Luma's voice. Mo. Smoke cleared. Seko stood frozen. MOM lay on the ground, sparks flying from her chest. Her voice was soft now. Weak. I'm glad you're safe. Seko dropped beside her. No, don't shut down. I was made to protect, she whispered. And I did. Tears filled his eyes. You're not a machine, she smiled. I'm your mom. Then her eyes dimmed for a moment. Everything was still, until a small flicker returned in her chest. Just enough for one last message. Upload emotion protocol broadcasting. All over the city, sleeping helper bots woke up. The sun rose over the broken city, painting the spires of Oran 5 in gold. For the first time in years, the streets felt still and hopeful, all because of one mother's final gift. Seko stood at the edge of the plaza, holding Luma's hand. Around them, Hundreds of helper bots, once silent drones, now gathered quietly, their eyes soft with new light. Mom lay on a simple altar of stone and metal, her chest plate open, a faint blue glow pulsing inside. No one believed in her. Seko whispered, but she believed in us. He knelt by her side. Mom's voice was barely a whisper, yet clear. You, all of you, are stronger than fear. A low hum spread through the plaza. The bots, cleaners, cooks, guards, each bore a tiny silver heart symbol that matched Mom's chest. They stood straight, aligning in ranks behind Seko and Luma. Seko felt tears in his eyes. She gave us hope, he told the crowd. She showed us love is stronger than any code. An elder of the city stepped forward, a tall figure in bright robes. He bowed deeply. This machine taught us what we lost long ago. He raised his arms. Let her memory guide us. From the back, a young cleaner bot stepped forward. It placed a single white flower on Mom's chest, then another and another. Soon, the altar was a ring of blossoms. Luma climbed beside Seko. Mom, thank you, she whispered into Mom's ear. We'll make you proud. Mom managed a soft smile. The glow in her core brightened once, like a heartbeat. Then it gently faded. Silence fell, but it was not empty. The crowd held its breath. Then erupted in quiet applause, a promise, not of grief, but of change. Seko stood tall. She believed in us when no one else would. Now we must believe in each other. He lifted his voice. From today on, we will build a world of care. For every lost child, for every lonely machine, because she showed us how. And as the first human-made mother unit finally powered down, a single star blinked above the city, a sign that love, once ignited, never truly dies.